right, guys, welcome back to the Walleye Files. We got Mr. Chad Burns of Burnsies Guide Service. Chad, how you doing, buddy?
Good, buddy. How are you doing today, Brandon?
We're good, man. I wish it wasn't raining. I wish the water would be a little warmer, but life is good. I can't complain.
Good, good. I would agree with you. I wish it actually just started raining here like an hour ago, so which
So
is
tell me
nice.
what's going on Winnebago right now. Guys, if you don't know Chad, he is owner operator of Burnsies Guide Service. He specializes on Lake Winnebago, the Upper Lakes, and of course Green Bay here towards the mid part of summer. But we're gonna mainly focus on Winnebago today.
So Winnebago, since the last time we talked a couple weeks ago, it's changed. The water today, I was out today for a trip. The water was finally back in the upper 60s. I actually had 69 degrees, 68 degrees, depending on where it was. And there's definitely been a shift out into some deeper water as far as the walleyes. There's still plenty of fish shallow, but there's definitely some fish deep. And this morning, when we got to the launch, we had flat, calm conditions. I mean, not a breath of wind. We had a bug hatch. And typically you put those two things in combination together, and I know there's more fish out in the mud. And, we put a good program together today. We started out with some bigger baits, flicker minnows and flicker shads, um, going about 45 minutes basically without a bite, even changing out some colors, speeds, S-turns, and all that stuff when you're doing trolling. And we downsized the baits to salmos and badger fours and put a great box of fish together. They just wanted a smaller profile bait. And I can't tell you how many times over the years those Selmos and Badger 4s, just small profile baits, flicker shad 5s, have saved the trips on either Bago or Green Bay for that matter. So sometimes bigger isn't always better.
Are you seeing any special colors that have been just, hands in a way better than others?
This year there has not been a hot color the entire season. Hair jigs, I will say though, if you are casting, straight black has been good, and straight purple. Purple head, purple hair, black head, black hair. That's
Interesting.
definitely
Okay.
one of my go-tos as far as casting. And then the Fishtails Cobra, which is, kind of a version of a shiver minnow. Those have been producing as well. But I'd say the hair jig has probably been a little bit more consistent. Whether we've been pitching around weeds or pitching rocks, but both presentations have been working. So if you get the right conditions, fortunately today I had a family of 4 in the boat, so your casting options are kind of limited at that point. So you got to get out the boards and get out the trolling rods and luckily I was able to put a program together. So, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of fish in the mud, but there's a lot of fish shallow yet too. So if you get the right conditions, you definitely still want to be casting. And there's always some fish shallow. I mean, even when you go into the dog days, there's still plenty of fish shallow, especially in the weeds. So eventually that rock bite kind of starts to fizzle out for the most part. Um, Besides sheephead, of course, because they always bite. But yeah, as far as to get back to your original question, as far as the color of a crankbait, there has not been a hot color. Today we caught them on dark, we caught them on naturals, we caught them on brights, and it was kind of I don't know, it wasn't a super overcast day. It was kind of right in the middle, so maybe that's why everything worked today. But that's kind of how the whole season has been. Even on the upper lakes when I've trolled, there really hasn't been like a hot color. So, which is very unusual. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't,
Usually it's a a fire tiger or a purple and white, or there's something very defined for what they're doing.
yeah,
Um, in my experience.
yeah, and that's the same with me. I mean, I've got, no, 8 and 10 of certain colors in my box and certain crankbaits. And, they'll still catch some fish, but they really aren't honed in on a certain color, at least not that I have found yet. So, but we haven't trolled a ton this year either. I mean, a lot of the fishing that we've been doing has been casting. So the hair jig bite has been fantastic, and I'd say a third of the days they want more of a reaction bite. So Anyway, but yeah,
Chad,
you can catch them everywhere out there right now, buddy.
do you see this bike getting a lot better over the next couple of weeks with some warmer
I,
weather moving in?
I do. You know, it's gonna be really hot this weekend, which is gonna finally warm that water up to where it should be. I think it's gonna ignite everything. I think the rocks are finally gonna get warm, to where that bite will be more consistent. There's always fish in the weeds, and I think the mud bite's gonna get really hot after this week. In fact, I mean, today was good. Today was probably the best mud bite that we've had out of the probably, I think, 4 times that I trolled it. Um, and the numbers of fish are out there now too, to where it's, you know, when I go out with clients before I put lines in the water, I want to make sure there's numbers of fish. I don't want to be going out there fishing for 9 fish that I see in 1 hour, you know. So,
Sure.
but and
Awesome.
it's
Well,
go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say how, guys, Chad is a guide. He does a fantastic job. We fished together. We had a lot of fun. How can people find you and book a trip?
So they can go on my website, burnsiesguideservice.com. You can call me 920-366-4211. I'm on all the social media platforms. But yeah, if you want to go out and fish Winnebago, I'll be back up on Green Bay in July. And I got to say one thing too, besides how to get a hold of me, and I'd love to have you, is if people don't know, Brandon's favorite color of crankbait is pink lemonade. I'm just saying that. Jerry, that was for you, by the way. Anyway.
There are several people that is for,
I
and that
had to
is
do it.
not a true statement.
I had to do it. I had this plan since our last podcast, and I'm sure your dad watches all these, and I know he's really going to enjoy that part right there.
Yeah. So is my wife, and so are some of my best friends. It's a sheephead color.
And by the way, your new boat wrap looks fantastic, by the way.
I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you.
You're
Guys, make sure you follow Chad Burns, Burnsies Guide Service, and of course the Walleye Files for more reports like this one. Chad, hey, I appreciate you being on, buddy. We'll talk to you real soon.
Sounds good. Appreciate everything you're doing, Brandon. Have a great evening.
Thanks, buddy.